Hey, Rev Uppers, we're going to talk about hormones. We're going to talk about perimenopause. I have two amazing Rev Up rock stars here, two wellness coaches, two women who have helped hundreds and hundreds of other women. You probably know them. Let me introduce you. April Linton.
Hello.
And Julie.
Hi.
Murder. Yay. So one of the things we wanted to talk about was you two are different ages, right? So I'm almost 50. You are
52.
52. You are
Almost 45.
You've been using Young Living products since you were 19. You have so many stories. Oh my goodness. And you have 10 years you've been using Young Living. So you went through menopause. Are you still you're still getting your period? Okay. So let's first talk about perimenopause and how we now know research shows 10 years, right? 10 years before you go through menopause, which is the day you stop having your period 1 year later. Right. That menopause is 1 day long, right? So you and I were talking like we didn't even know we were in such a thing called perimenopause.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. What were some of your symptoms?
So in hindsight, after reading all about them, I had realized that the massive amounts of high histamines in my body, that I was getting tons of rashes that I could not figure out. Rashes relating to food, and of course hair loss, digestive issues, which I already have some of those, but they just kind of ramped up. And off the top of my head, what were some of the other things?
Anxiety? Did you have anxiety?
Was picking up. Just inability to handle the stress of just regular everyday. And not hot flashes, like that wasn't necessarily one of them. It was just all these other things that were hitting me where I didn't realize. And turns out once I realized what they were, brain health. Brain health was a big one. My brain was just not functioning optimally. I wasn't able to, think of a thing to do, create the project, and then finish the project. I just wasn't able to follow through as well. And so I just started to, once I realized what they were, what all these symptoms were, and I was reading all about it, it was more that I had realized I was actually on the tail end of it, of perimenopause. And I had all these years beforehand gone through all this, but had I known that I was in it or was going to be in it, I would have supported my body so much stronger, which would have been very helpful. And I'd love to help other women do that for themselves.
I know you have really just grown a passion to help women in this stage because we suffered, right? I had a similar story. We suffered so much and not know relationships. Like our husbands all of a sudden were like bad guys, because we were just like being frustrated by them. And we have a funny story we'll tell real quick, and then we'll go into more hormone solutions with April. But I was sharing with you that we got a dog for the first time. Tell them your dog story.
Oh boy, the dog story. My poor husband. I ended up having anxiety when I was feeling the love of these two dogs. My daughter was puppy sitting, and I just was loving that. And I'd had a dog a long time ago, and it just all came back to me and bringing me so much love. And then it was the day that she had to bring them back, and I was feeling like this intense anxiety that I didn't know where it was coming from. So I got on the computer and started looking, and that day went and picked up a puppy without my husband knowing.
Oh no.
Even being aware that I even had it in my head. It was just on a whim. Because can I blame perimenopause? Probably. It was probably hormones. But in the end, she turned out to be amazing. But my poor husband was just...
Do you think, though, it's helped your anxiety?
Oh, for sure.
What's your dog's name?
For sure. Mila.
Mila, yeah.
She's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's a good girl. And, of course, it doesn't come without the stress in and of itself. But,
You can handle it. You said to me, you handle stress better.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
And my husband now says, and it's a joke, he loves her, but at first he was not happy that I just surprised everybody.
So
the dog this day.
So maybe there's some other perimenopause, right? So they're making rash.
Be careful.
Yes.
Be careful. But anyways, I had started putting together a little formula for myself. I started to plan this formula out of how to support myself when I was going to go through it. And then I realized I was already in it. So I had started to put together a little protocol, and my husband, you ask him, he will tell you how much different and how much better everything is. He'll turn to me and just say, whatever you're doing is working. And I'm like, of course it is. I'm not making any rash decisions, but I'm so much happier and feeling more balanced in the way that I'm handling the regular everyday stress is just helping all the relationships.
That's so good.
Yeah.
One of your favorite products, Power Jize, is it?
Oh, Power Jize is a really an amazing supplement for me that I was taking prior to learning all of this. And so I would also add to that the Progestins Plus, which you're going to also talk about, and Endoflex and the brain power.
The oil brain power. Okay.
Yeah.
That combination. Now, everyone's going to ask, how do you use them? So just tell them.
Okay. I don't have it in front of me, but I put a roll-on top on the Progestins Plus. So it's just like, say, your deep relief that has a roll-on top on it. It's very similar, and I just roll it. I do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then Endoflex, same thing. I do over my thyroid to support my thyroid.
Once a day at night?
Once a day. Sometimes if I'm feeling not like my best self, I'll do a little bit of extra Progestins Plus also to help me sleep at night.
When do you take the Power Jize?
Generally midday. So I take my Femigen in the morning with my breakfast, and then that's something we'll talk about another time maybe. But the Power Jize kind of like midday because I want that mental. It really helps my brain.
Awesome.
And energy.
We know so many women are getting help. Thank you, Jolene.
Yeah,
awesome. April, I know you have some good stories too, because you are going through some changes, but not the same. So tell us about your journey.
I had normal periods for a long time, not much pain, just regular. And then when I was about, I don't know, maybe early 40s, mid 40s, I'm a hairdresser, so I stand a lot, and my periods got so heavy and painful, and just I would pass clots that were painful and could be embarrassing to try to get to the bathroom when you have clients in your chair. And so there had to be a solution, and I started using Progestins Plus. I started with 4 drops in my hand, and then I rubbed them together. I rubbed them on my inner thighs every night, and within a month there was definite improvement. Within 2 months it was completely better. I was so balanced. I did add Femigen and PD 80/20. They are supplements that just help support our hormones. But then, right before I earned the trip to Hawaii with Young Living, about maybe 6 weeks before that, I started bleeding, and it lasted for 4 weeks before I found out someone had recommended to use clary sage. So I used that, and apparently bleeding a lot, your estrogen, that's indicative of your estrogen dipping, and that is something that happens in perimenopause. I didn't even know what perimenopause was. I just always heard of menopause. I didn't know that there were several years in between your regular periods when your periods got different or heavier or whatever before menopause. But apparently it does, and you just have dips in your hormones and they just are unbalanced. So 4 drops of clary sage in a little water. I drank it. It does not taste delicious, but it was a miracle. And within 2 days, just 2 times doing that, the bleeding stopped. And then I just had normal periods again. So now I'm learning to be more in tune with my body, and I can tell how I'm feeling. So if I feel like I need to support more with clary sage, I'll do that on my ankles. If I feel like I need to support more with Progestins Plus, like Jolene said, I just use some either on my wrists or on my ankles, my inner thighs, and they have been miracles to me.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Now, I noticed when I was on Rev Up, when I'm doing good on Rev Up, that I didn't get hot flashes. This year I started getting hot flashes, and I'm like, wow, my hot flashes have reduced, right? And research shows when you're not having sugar and all those things and stuff like that. What have you noticed on Rev Up? How has Rev Up benefited you?
Oh my gosh, the mental clarity. I didn't know that I didn't have good mental clarity until I got on Rev Up, and then my mental clarity went, oh my gosh, so good. And then I had already done some things to help me sleep better, but Rev Up, just getting the inflammatory foods out and adding the nutrition and the large amounts of Nincture Red, that made everything feel better. It made me have more clarity of mind, sleep better. I just am in such a even better mood.
That's so awesome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yay, bye.